Hi, everyone. Welcome back to episode 67 of the Simply Warm podcast. I'm your host, Colin, and I'm joined by my co-host, Chris.
How we doing, everybody?
We're just a couple of best friends who are passionate about all things pop culture. If you're looking for lukewarm takes on movies, video games, TV shows, or even the occasional comic, then we've got the show for you.
That's right.
Come on down.
You get a car. You get a car. That's Oprah.
Yeah, that was your Oprah impression.
Yeah.
You get a car.
That's what Oprah sounds like
And
to me.
you. Look under your seat. It's a new car. Anyways, yeah, this week is technically next all right, we're recording it early because we'll be on vacation when this episode comes out.
That's right.
So this week
And the grind just doesn't fucking stop around here.
we just grinding all the time.
If we're taking vacation or not, don't matter. We're still
That's right.
publishing
Come on,
for
baby.
you.
Come on, baby. Grind on me. Anyway, stop it. Don't bite your lip. You're going to get lost. You just start sucking your top lip. All right,
24 karat gold by Bruno Mars. That's
Yeah,
playing.
you just-
Jump in the Cadillac.
Put some miles on it. Anyways, just
I got some miles for you.
piping. Anyways, no, this is getting off rails all real quick. So last week's episode, which we recorded this week.
Yes. 2 days ago.
Wait, yeah. Anyways, the episode 66 was only about Across the Spider-Verse. Spider-Verse. Technically, actually,
Widowing.
was a widowy hitting a gwitty. So, was only about Across the Spider-Verse. We did no news, no cryptids, no nothing.
Nothing.
None to be found.
No grits, no cornbread, no nothing. No
Just in the
sides.
garage, no dinner.
Yeah, no sides.
Well, was he on fucking Rogan? I've never seen that interview. I've
Yeah.
only just seen that clip.
Yeah, sleep in the garage,
No dinner.
Yeah, dude, Joey Diaz is
Fucking
so
wild.
fucking funny.
He is wild. He's a bananas man. So this week we're just going to do a lot of news, I think, and just kind of hucking and chucking. And then you've got your cryptid corner,
What are we?
widowy. And then, yeah, and we'll maybe talk a little bit about what we'll hope to be doing in Disney. And then fucking
go scoot.
see you guys out of here, yeah?
Just get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, just roll out.
Don't ask for a long episode because you're not going to get it this time.
we
We always say that, but it's not happening, all right?
Yeah.
There's some Civ we got to play.
Maybe. No, there's no maybe. It's
Yeah,
happening.
that's-
Yeah.
I'm
It's like a
playing for little bit.
prescription. Yeah, so let's see. You want to start on the news here?
Yeah, jump in it.
All right. I'm not even going to list it off. We're just
No.
going to do it. It's going to be super light. We'll pick the ones that we want to go in on harder and then
Oh,
deeper on, you know?
it's going to be harder. And
Apparently-
it's going to be deeper.
Apparently Captain America 4 is no longer called New World Order.
Oh,
There was just like I think Anthony Mackie posted an Instagram post.
Mhm.
And the official Marvel page like commented under it and was like something about Brave New World, and then they finally came out and were like, yeah, that is what we're changing the name to. Marvel Studios Captain America Brave New World in theaters May 3rd, 2024. So instead of New World Order, they're doing Brave New World.
I like,
New World Order a little bit better.
Yeah.
It sounds a bit more ominous.
yeah.
But I wonder if that might be part of why they changed it. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what. It depends on the story, I suppose.
Yeah.
Or if there was a lot of people being like, New World Order, Disney's part of the New World Order. You know what I mean? And then, all right, let's just fucking get away from it. Who knows? We already mentioned the Illuminati and Doctor Strange. Now we're talking about the New World Order. People are about to just be fucking
Man,
tweaking.
they're dropping breadcrumbs, man. They're
That's
telling
right.
us.
Yeah. I
Let
bet
us know.
Jay-Z funded this movie. Jay-Z and Beyonce. They're part
What's
of the
she order?
Illuminati. Fish fillet.
Fish fillet.
But yeah, who knows, man? Could just be. I don't know. I don't know why they would be pressed about the title, but it is odd because I mean they did show off like a title page at one of the maybe at the D23, and so now they're like, well, psych. But you figure the Quantum Mania logo changed like 7 times,
Yeah.
but the title never changed. But either way,
Endgame changed. It used to be Annihilation.
that's not true. They never announced the title until they announced Endgame.
I thought it was like Annihilation and they changed it to Endgame.
No. Because the title was never announced until the trailer came out for Endgame. So, congratulations.
You played,
Played
yourself.
yourself.
I swear I thought something saying it was
mean-
Annihilation.
I mean, there was a ton of fan art and stuff about it that people thought it was going to be that, maybe. But, no, it was never officially Annihilation.
Mhm.
So, bitch, swerve. Apparently, fucking Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse almost had, quote, huge live action sequences. And so, listen here. During an interview with Variety, this is secondhand through IGN. I get a lot of my news from IGN, Variety, Hollywood Reporter, and Deadline. This one particularly is coming from IGN, or Variety via IGN, I suppose. They say, Across the Spider-Verse directors Kemp Powers and Justin K. Thompson revealed they originally planned to go beyond those live-action clips of just, because spoiler alert, we do see clips of Andrew Garfield Spider-Man as well as the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and they're just clips from the film, or from their films. They say, we had even bigger ambitions. There were times when we had huge live-action sequences in the film, and it just turned into a bad joke, added Powers. Even we didn't like it anymore, and we just said, okay, enough. Let's make sure that it's something precise that gets the most bang for the buck and speaks to the story. So it sounds like they got a little overindulgent, and then we're like, all right, we got to reel it back. And then they say, when they were like, they say, let's see here, neither Thompson nor Powers would reveal what those sequences were, but it sounds like they were canned fairly early into the process, only existing as storyboards and animatics with cut-out versions of the characters done by crew members. So they never even got to filming live action. Yeah. They said that they had the look of a South Park character. Just the, But they said we should do that as a character.
Yes, I think they
just
should.
a South Park Spider-Man.
Yes.
But so I think that's interesting that they did play with the idea of, what if we just went into live action for a while? Which, I mean, I could see, but I do see what they're saying of, I think there's a lot more visual interest in the different animation styles versus live. We've seen a live action Spider-Man.
I know the voice actor. I can't remember his name, who plays Miles.
Shamik Moore. Yeah, that's one of my stories.
Yes, he
wants to be Miles.
He's like, I'll lose weight and go to the gym, get fit, and
shave his beard, cut his hair so that he looks younger, because he's pushing 30, and he does kind of look like a late 20s man.
Yeah, he looks a little older.
And so, I mean, if they did a Miles who is supposed to be a teenager, a young teenager, I do think he'd be pressed. But
you can always just de-age him a little bit.
Sure. Or you could just hire an actor that looks the age.
Yeah, but then what about the voice?
Well, so if you're doing a live action Miles, it doesn't have to be this
No,
Miles.
That's true.
You know what I mean? I just think, I'd rather it look like Miles, and makes sense, rather than having a Tobey Maguire 30-year-old man going, when they pull him in off the train, they take his mask off and he's just a kid. And it's like, that's a 32-year-old man you're looking at.
Grown-ass man.
It's like, no older than my son. And it's like, you're 4 years older than this guy. What are you talking about?
Who you playing?
Yeah. And so, I do think that we've gotten away from, especially when you have like a Tom Holland playing Spider-Man, he looks much more age appropriate to then go back to we're all just going to play make-believe and pretend that these 32-year-olds look like high schoolers. I just don't know that we could do that.
Don't know if we can pull that one off.
Yeah. Now, if we wanted to do an older Miles, that'd be cool. But, or maybe put him in as, I could see giving him a little bit of service, put him in the movie, but not as Miles.
Yeah.
Maybe just really make him feel bad about himself, make him Aaron. Or not Aaron, make him Jefferson,
Yeah.
Make him the dad. You're old enough to be Miles' dad. Oh, man. It'd be a lot easier to make you look older than younger, son. And he's like, what? But no, so I think they do plan to make a live action Miles Morales.
I'd like to see that.
And I'm all in.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, please. Fucking hold on to your hat here, children. Oppenheimer is officially rated R.
Yo. So they can say fuck as much as they want.
Fuck. They could show wiener. Yeah, Cillian Murphy's shown his wang in the movie before, so.
Are we just gonna get a 30-second no music sex scene?
30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
No. It's like 7 minutes. Oh my god, it's just too long. And you're like, oh my god,
this is still going on.
The camera
pans
you go back.
To get
the camera pans back. You can see the boom mic. It just turns into
a bad porn.
A bad porn. You're like, oh no, what's happening?
You go to get your refill on your drink, and you come back, and it's still
happening. And you're like, oh my god, they should put, how they put notices for flashing images? There should be a notice that there is graphic sex for 7 minutes in this movie. I don't know what it has to do about the. Yeah, I don't know what it has to do with the creation of the atom bomb and the repercussions
atom
of
bomb,
humanity
baby,
killing weapons.
A good time.
But Christopher Nolan, I know I trust him. He knows what he's about.
I have faith in him.
I'll follow him anywhere. No, so I do think it's interesting that he's just going in. He's going to make an R-rated Oppenheimer film, which I don't know, man. I do think it's odd. I wonder if it's rated R for language primarily, or if it's violence. I don't know. I could see like maybe graphic scenes of the repercussions of the atom bomb.
I could see that.
You know what I mean?
I could see like them almost blowing up the world and just, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, yeah, but I mean, I could see it being intense, but yeah, I don't know. Apparently, I was trying to look here and see what because he said it's been 20 years since he's made an R-rated film. Looks like both Memento and Insomnia were R-rated films, and Insomnia was 2002, so yeah, that was his last R-rated film. Everything else has been PG-13.
Woof.
So, why is that a wolf?
I don't know.
I don't know, man. But yeah, I thought that was interesting that he was like, yeah, we're going in. We're going to drop all the fuck bombs we want.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
F-bombs, A-bombs, who knows, man.
B-52?
The bomber?
Mm.
Yeah. You're like, no, the group.
No.
B-52 bombers.
Love Shack.
Yeah. Love Shack, baby. How to Train Your Dragon is getting a fucking live-action remake. You're going to see fucking dragons in live action.
Are they getting the guy who plays Hiccup?
No. He's a fucking, 41-year-old man. Voice actors can be voice actors.
It's not
face actors can be face actors.
It's not going to sound like him.
No, it's not.
Hiccup has a very distinct voice. Like, that actor speaks, and I'm like,
That's Hiccup. Yeah, well.
I'm going to see this bozo on the
Yeah,
screen.
and I don't fucking know this kid. Apparently he was in The Black Phone with, which is wretch, with Ethan Hawke. But his name is Mason Thames. Don't know.
I have in fact seen The Black Phone.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Yeah. And apparently Astrid is going to be played by Nico Parker, who was Sarah in The Last of Us on HBO. I'm down with that. She did a really good job.
Yeah.
She did convincing dying.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man. And they
Spoiler,
did make
Astrid does not die though.
Well, maybe they can change it up for the live action.
The How to Train Your Dragon multiverse.
Yeah. There's a wrinkle in time, and she just fucking eats it. She gets bitten in half by a dragon, and then fucking squeals and
She
moans
gets
and
fucked
dies.
by a dragon.
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
I don't know why I'd say something like that, man.
I know what you're looking up over there.
No. What do you mean?
Dragon Rule 34. Yeah, so apparently this thing's going to be coming out in March 14th of 2025.
Whoa.
I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about let's just do a live action remake of a bunch of animation that was already successful.
Yeah.
It feels like the very safe thing to do. You know what I mean? Which is definitely Hollywood right now. Of like, okay, we know that people liked The Little Mermaid. We know that people liked The Lion King, right?
Yeah.
These are classics. We know they liked How to Train Your Dragon. For God's sakes, we made 3 of them and like 90 shows and movies on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just do it again in live action. The story works,
No.
And then they run into the spot of, all right, well, do you just do that story again, which is boring and pointless, or do you tamper with it to make it different enough to justify it, and then in turn not make it better? If you're not making it better, I don't know why you're doing it.
Why are you touching it?
Yeah.
Why the fuck are your hands on it?
All right, man, relax.
Yeah, no,
Get
I'm
your
not gonna
fucking
relax.
dirty hands off it.
Use your head.
Use your head. I don't know.
Think,
Man.
Mark.
Think. The day before. Fucking. So 2 things here. They interviewed on the developer Fantastic. Did an interview with Well Played. And they're basically insisting that the Steam page will be back online soon because it got removed after the copyright issues.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, they were like, oh, yeah, we had to delay the game because copyright issues. And then later admitted to IGN that they were like, yeah, we were going to delay the thing anyways.
Yeah. It's in November, right?
Correct, yep. So November 10th. So they claimed it was the first to start using the name related to the video game, and said that it's optimistic about regaining their name through legal proceedings as swiftly as possible. So they're standing their ground legally that we used this name first, and now we're going to get it back. They didn't give a timeline on that, but it is set to launch, obviously, in 5 months. And they say that the Steam page will be reinstated soon. Soon, not shortly, soon. New gameplay details were kind of shared during the interview, where Fantastic revealed that players will be able to take on in-game jobs in the day before. And the quote here is, "These in-game jobs range across various professions, from manual labor as a loader to showcasing artistic talent as a musician." It said, "These jobs will add another layer of realism and immersion to the game." And apparently a 30-second gameplay video released alongside the interview, and it showed a player driving a Lamborghini-style car through an abandoned city. Yeah, so a beta is set to take place between now and launch. So we'll have to try and get in on that.
Yeah.
And just try that out and see what we think.
God. I'm so fucking nervous for that.
Like, just your roller coaster of emotions. Like, what if it comes out and is like a banger?
Dude, I'd get so excited I'd kill somebody.
Just fucking, I gotta go. You're like, why? You just fucking go outside and just hear bang, bang, bang. Oh my god.
I just gotta come back inside.
Fuck, this game is the best game I've ever played.
Oh, we
Game
gotta
of the
move.
year. Game of the year. Did you say we gotta move?
Yeah, we gotta move. What? Where? Now!
Now. We'll figure it out later. Get in the car. Grab the dogs. Oh, God. But yeah, so that's kind of weird, I think.
Yeah.
That they're like, you're going to have full in-game professions now. I'm like, let's just get...
You're promising a lot, my man.
Yeah, let's just get the game... Like, it's weird to now learn of a new feature.
Just get your title.
Yeah. Yeah, let's fucking know what
Start
we're
with
calling this
that.
thing. Because you got 5 months to get the name back.
Who else has the day before?
It was some app that was like a calendar app. Let's see here. I want to find it here. Yeah, trademark dispute. Yeah, I was trying to figure out the same thing, and yeah, and it was a countdown app of the same name. Found out about the video game from 2010. So I'm thinking, I don't know that the day before has been in development for 13 years. So the countdown app might have a leg to stand on.
Unless they pay him out.
Yeah, they could just pay them off, but do they have the money?
Yeah.
Because they haven't been taking pre-orders. Because remember, that's part of this whole weird thing of like, why does this thing feel so scammy?
It's just
but they've not collected any money yet. So it's like, what's the deal
fuck's
here?
going on?
What is the story here? I don't know. But the thing that we want to spend the most time on, news-wise, is the not the Game Awards. Sorry, the Summer Games Fest.
Yes.
I'm not gonna level with you. It was kind of a bust for me. Like, PlayStation was also kind of a bust, you know. But I was like, well, there's still Summer Games Fest, so maybe, yeah, they're holding off for that. It was a lot of the same. There was not a lot of like, yo, what? They're making that? You know what I mean? There's no surprises for me. Did get some interesting, like, footage and you know, more information. We got a release date for Spider-Man PS2. It's coming out on October... It is on
Spider-Man
October 20th.
PS2?
Sorry, Spider-Man 2 on PS5 is coming out October 20th, 2023. So that'll be here before we know it. That's 4 months away.
Yeah.
Fucking, they showed off some art of Venom. He looks like, it was kind of funny because apparently this was the first Summer Games Fest. I never thought about it. That was in front of a live studio audience because he started it in 2020.
Yeah.
So it's always been just remote or digital. Did you see the art of Venom?
No.
Oh, shit. Let me fucking show you this. Venom. Spider-Man 2. They did clarify that Venom is not Eddie Brock,
Oh.
but they wouldn't say who it was. Yeah, peep
So
that
that
shit.
means that Venom could be a good guy.
No, it doesn't. I mean, I guess it does, but it doesn't look like he's a good guy. That's some badassery. But it was funny because when that art came up on screen behind, you know, Jeff Keighley and the gentleman from Insomniac, the crowd was like, yo!
That's very comic book accurate.
Yeah, that is Venom.
Oh.
I've seen a lot of people asking, like, what if Kraven gets the symbiote and is Venom?
Oh.
That'd be interesting.
I wouldn't be upset with that. That would make sense.
So let's see here. I'm just going again. This part's from IGN. I'm going through a list of everything that was announced at, and we'll just kind of pick up on the ones that were like, oh shit, you know. So yeah, the Spider-Man release date was pretty dope. Like I said, they didn't show any new footage other than just to show, hey, here's the release date, and then some art. The box art is that right there. It's
Yeah.
pretty. It's just Miles and Peter as Spider-Man. The one that was they opened the show with, we're getting a new Prince of Persia game,
Oh.
and it is actually a side-scrolling, like platform action game, but it looks like it has some cinematic like combat finishers and stuff.
Okay.
Where kind of the camera will pull in and follow, the prince as he's killing the dudes and whatever. Looked all right. The art style was kind of a little cartoony, which was fine. But I mean, it didn't look bad, but it looked like something I'd be like, yeah, I'll play that on the Switch. Or
It's been real quiet about Hellboy lately.
yeah, they showed that. Well, I mean, it's only been 5 months.
Where they at?
Backed me up. That if you don't get a constant drip feed of news, you just assume like
No,
there's
they're
nothing
done.
happening.
They're fucking done, man.
No, they're cooking.
Mm.
Let them cook.
Yeah,
all right?
they've been cooking for 5 fucking months. That's just burnt by now. My man, take it out of the oven.
You need to fucking gain some patience, my son. Fuck.
I got something they can
Just get
fucking
exacerbated. Just you motherfucker. You son of a bitch.
Mm.
They Mortal Kombat 1 got some full on
yeah.
gameplay.
Yeah. I saw that.
And they've got a cameo feature. I'm not a huge fighting game guy, but I do like some Mortal Kombat. Some of these fucking fatalities.
Mm-hmm.
Brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was rough. They kind of explained, apparently at the end of Mortal Kombat 11, fucking, what's his nuts? The guy. Come on now, you got it.
Kratos.
Yes. No. Anyways, fucking, I can't think of a single character other than Johnny Cage, and I know it's not him.
Scorpion?
No.
Sub-Zero?
No.
Raiden?
Bingo. Raiden gave up the powers of being a god to...
Scorpion.
Nope. Kung Fu guy that punches fire.
Oh,
Fucking... fucking... if only we had phones in our hands.
I think I know what it is, but I don't want to butcher it.
Son of a
Come on, racist.
Mortal Kombat. Tink, 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 tink. Mortal Kombat characters.
Tai Lung?
No.
Liu Kang?
Liu Kang. Yeah.
Tai Lung, that's from fucking Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, it was Liu Kang. So he gave god powers to Liu Kang,
Word.
and they basically like fought like the person in charge
Liu
of
Kang's
time.
a good guy, though.
So is Raiden.
I thought Raiden was more of a bad guy.
Raiden's the protector of Earthrealm.
Continue.
So now Liu Kang is the fire god, and he's the protector of Earthrealm. But the universe has fully rebooted, and now he's in the position of, like Raiden, of coming around and gathering the combatants for Mortal Kombat.
Mm-hmm.
And the stories have all changed up. So like Melina and Katana are sisters, as opposed to one being a clone of the other. And Melina's jaw thing is not a result of her being a clone; it's a disease, and she's apparently the queen. And their dynamic is
They both could get it.
you need to relax. I don't know why you're talking about sex so much today with fictional characters, but you need to get your shit together. They can both get it. All right, relax. Melina has a fucking, like, a snake jaw. And you're like,
Excellent.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, perfect.
You seen a snake eat an egg? Come on now.
I got 2 eggs she can eat. So she's going to need it.
Hey, straighten up. I'm trying to talk to you.
Oh, you're...
Focus. Focus.
We're in this.
All right. Look at me, Hector.
Look at me, Hector.
It's today the day. Yeah, Melina and Katana. Sisters, not clones. Melina's queen. Has a fucked up face. And Katana's like, I'm fucking looking out for you. So they kind of got a dynamic going on.
Yeah.
Sub-Zero and Scorpion are brothers and are working together.
Well, they've always been brothers.
They are working together
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to being
Fighting
like
against each other.
mortal enemies. I heard that.
Shut the fuck up.
You got sex on the brain. Fucking, you're going
I
through
am
puberty
going through
again.
puberty again, aren't I?
You're getting a second bout of it. You're sleeping all the time. Your joints ache.
No?
All right, that's good. You're not getting a growth spurt.
No, I'm pretty tall as
Yeah,
it is.
you're all right. You're average. Anyways, fucking yeah. Johnny Cage is fully played by Jean-Claude Van Damme. Like, actually, which is who inspired Mortal Kombat in general and Johnny Cage. And apparently they've tried for like the better part of 3 decades to get Jean-Claude involved somehow. And they've gotten really close a few times, but this time he is the voice of Johnny Cage and is performing as Johnny Cage. I'm like, all right. That's kind of funny.
So now I bet you Mortal Kombat's like, we got to make this one a banger.
Right.
Like, it's got to be great.
But I worry. I'm like, is Jean-Claude Van Damme? I don't know that he's a good actor, let alone a good voice actor. I think voice acting is
Maybe that
harder
would
than
add
acting.
to it.
Maybe. Yeah, where you're like, oof. I don't know. But I did think that was kind of funny. And they showed off some gameplay. The cameo feature is basically you and I are, Katana and Melina, and we're fighting each other. And I can like press L1, R1, or whatever it was on PlayStation, and then do a move. And another character is on my team and will jump out and like do a move or two and then jump away again. Seems a little gimmicky to me because it feels like DLC will be, well, let's add some cameos and let's add more, it's like, okay, are they finding ways to microtransaction it? Because Mortal Kombat 11 had quite a bit of microtransactions. And they're already like, if you want to play as fucking Shang Tsung, you got to pre-order this game. And I'm like, don't lock a character behind pre-ordering in a fighting game roster.
I remember they said Omni-Man and Homelander.
Well, they didn't. Everybody else did. Mortal Kombat didn't come out and go.
Yeah, but I would like that.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Because they've always done, pop culture characters in Mortal Kombat of like...
Fuck, they did Alien.
Yeah. They got the Xenomorph in there. They got the fucking Predator. Jason Voorhees, RoboCop, Terminator.
Yeah. Like, you can fucking fit Omni-Man
and Homelander in there. But, yeah, I do. I think it looked interesting. Morgan was fucking drooling all over herself watching it. She's like, oh my God, this is going to be so fucking cool. It wasn't like that. You need to reel it in.
You're saying drooling all over herself?
Yeah, she was drooling because she had her mouth open, and you're there. I don't know what your problem is, but you need to fucking breathe. You start humping the air like a dog.
And there's just a pillow that just has a hole in it.
It's just like a stuffed animal, and you've just ridden it hard. Fucking Sonic is getting a new 2D game.
Oh.
Called Sonic Superstars. That's right. And there is 4-player co-op.
Oh. I remember playing Sonic Unleashed. That shit was gas.
Gas. There was a very large gameplay reveal of Alan Wake 2. And we got quite a bit of information about how the game will play. Because there's 2 campaigns of sorts where you play as an FBI agent named Saga or Alan Wake. And Alan Wake is in the Dark World. And then Saga is in, is it called Bleak Falls? I don't remember what the town's called.
No, I'm not sure.
And on here they reference just the Pacific Northwest, but I think it's Bleak Falls. But it's supposed to be like just a small, sleepy, one cafe kind of town, Yeah. And the Saga is there investigating that in like the real world. Alan Wake is stuck in the Dark World. And they make it sound like you can switch between the two on the fly. All right, I'm going to play a Saga. And he said you can play Saga's story all the way up to, he said, nearly the end. And then I'm sure like you reach a point where it stops you and you have to then play Alan Wake's story. Or you can flip between the two as you go. You can play her for a couple of missions and then flip to him and play a couple. And you just have that freedom. Yeah. It sounds pretty interesting to me because they're the same people who made Control, which had a really interesting narrative and kind of did things pretty different. And so I'm here for them experimenting with how you have their stories intertwined but not require you to play it in a specific order and it still play out in a way that you're like, oh, I do wonder if it'll pan out that you're like, everybody online is like, here's the correct order, play missions 1, 2, 3 of hers, 1 and 2 of his, and then 3 and 4, and that's the correct way, But I do think it's interesting that they're just playing around with the mechanics of being able to have 2 campaigns essentially loaded up and ready to go. Which I did want to mention about Spider-Man. I was correct. You can switch on the fly between Peter and Miles, and there's some missions that are specifically for Peter, specifically for Miles, that are side missions, as well as missions where you get to choose which one you're going to play as. And then there's a lot of story missions that, in there, it's not on the fly because you're required to play as certain characters for certain portions of it. But I'm pretty excited at the idea of just going, I'm gonna be Miles for now,
Yeah.
and that because of Miles's abilities, it's a different type of gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you switch, there's an actual reason to change.
Sunflower.
Because a lot of people are like, "Oh, that's so innovative." Grand Theft Auto 5 did it, 13 years ago, and it's like yes and no. They had loading screens of like the panning up to the sky and moving over, and then they hit a loading screen in whatever weird thing you caught the person doing. A lot of times you'd pan in and it'd be Michael with a hooker or whatever,
Yeah.
or like Trevor stuffing a foot in a toilet, and then you're like, oh, okay, and that was a loading screen still of showing you this, and then the world can load around it. This is literally on the fly. Now you're Miles.
Yeah.
And it's all from the power of current gen consoles, the PS5, which is also why they've made movement a lot faster. There's slingshot points across the map of being able to launch yourself really long
it
distances.
looked like Miles had that
the wingsuit, and just the ability to move much faster because the PS5 can load.
It can handle that.
Yeah, the world that much faster. And they added 2 more boroughs. I think it was Brooklyn and
Queens.
Yeah. So they've nearly doubled the size of the map.
Bridge now,
yeah, you can go over the river. I'm fucking here for it. I'm love
excited.
Spider-Man.
I still have to play Miles Morales.
Yeah, you really should. It's very good.
That's what I've heard.
I'm still not sold on the new face of Peter Parker. I enjoyed the original, face animation.
Oh, is it a different face animation?
Yeah, when they did Spider-Man Remastered for the PS5, they changed the face.
Why?
I don't know. Because they apparently on the original version it was all computer generated of they made up a face. And then with the new version, it's actual facial capture of an actor. And so that they can get more out of the face because we're able to track better.
Sure.
Like with an Ellie in The Last of Us 2.
I just want to play, someone with the exaggerated swag of a young black teen.
That dude will never get past that.
No.
That was his
That
review
was his
of cringy ass.
The exaggerated swagger of a young black teen.
You're with just the most the caucasity in his voice,
The mountains of Caucasus. Whose goddamn baby is that?
Whose goddamn white baby is that?
Just because his name is Darren does not mean he belongs to Darren. That baby's got a credit score of 730.
Sitting right here.
Right now.
I just love this. Whose goddamn white baby is that?
I've been in here for 17 consecutive years.
Do you know what consecutive means? I mean, one right after the motherfucking other. Anyways, I am excited for Alan Wake 2.
Yeah.
They are doing full-on survival horror.
Yes.
And I love survival horror, so I'm here for it. The original Alan Wake holds a nice little spot in my heart, and I'm jazzed about it, baby.
You're what about it?
I'm jazzed.
Oh.
Fucking jazzed, all right? John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. A lot of people were like, it looks mid. I was sitting over there going, yo, I could see playing this with it looks like it's 4-player co-op. And I could see it being you, me, my dad, and get a 4th in there. It is it's inspired by 80s action and horror, and it's just overwhelming hordes of zombies. And it's first-person shooting, but there's a lot of vehicle play too. And so I could see there was portions of driving, the zombies busting out the windshield, and the passenger is firing at the zombies that are in the on the car, and the other person is legitimately trying to drive the vehicle.
Right, yeah.
And I could just see us, I'll drive, you shoot. I'll drive, you shoot. And you just screaming, oh, yes, do it.
Let me drive the boat.
I would like to drive. I'm like, oh my God, all right. As soon as you start driving, we just die. I'm like, all right, switch back. Okay. But no, it looked like a lot of fun to me. I kind of want to show you the trailer to that one. Not right now, but well. Sandland was a new action game from Akira Toriyama, who made Dragon Ball.
Oh.
And apparently, if I understood the setup, Sandland is a manga from 2000, and they're turning it into a video game, and it looked pretty good. There was a lot of tank gameplay in the desert and some melee combat. There was no release date for it, but yeah, I mean, action wise, it looked pretty promising.
Sure, yeah.
It's built on Unreal Engine 5, which
have you seen that? What's that one game? You're playing as, I think, an Aztec or a Mayan during the Spanish colonial times, and you're I forget what it's called. It's coming out here soon.
Mhm.
But yeah, you're playing as like a Mayan or an Aztec. You know,
a South American, indigenous person.
Yeah.
Somewhere in either Mexico or Central America. Yeah.
And the Spanish are
Yeah.
over
Conquering.
the
the
doing
conquistadors.
their thing.
Yeah.
And you're playing as one of them, and you're kind of like sneaking around trying to kill them, trying to defend your tribe, or
Your land.
your land,
your whole world.
and people are getting a lot of backlash, or the developers are getting a lot of backlash for it because I guess a bunch of woke people are saying that it's
Don't fucking say woke.
Woke people, bunch of snowflakes. No,
You're one of them.
I am, which makes it even funnier.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently people are saying like it's super offensive towards. It's like glorifying what the Spanish did, and I was like,
if you're making them the bad guys.
yeah, it's like they're the bad guys.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
We do the same thing with like war games.
Yeah,
so I'm
exactly.
not sure.
Yeah. I mean, people are against that too, but I don't know, man.
So you're telling me you're fine with J.K. Rowling making Hogwarts Legacy, but this is where we draw a line? No way.
Nuh-uh.
Nuh-uh.
Nope. No, I bet a lot of them weren't fine with that either.
Hey, grow the fuck up.
What did you say? Was that English?
They need to grow the fuck up.
Grow the fuck up. Lord of the Rings Return to Moria looks gas.
Does it?
It is a survival crafting game.
Craft?
Survival craft. Like, many others that we've played.
Like Minecraft. I miss that game so much.
It's set in Middle Earth, and you play as, I think, up to 8 dwarves in the mines of Moria. Just mining, crafting, fucking...
It is Minecraft.
Building a base down in the mines of Moria and trying to reclaim the mines for the dwarves. I was like, oh, this is right up my alley.
Yes.
Fucking crafting survival game in the fucking Middle Earth as a dwarf. Yes. I started screaming and touching myself. You heard me. Started screaming and touching myself, I said. Let's see here. Fucking Twisted Metal got a clip on showing the new series on Peacock.
Yeah. Have you seen the...
It wasn't that good looking to me.
Pictures and everything for the new Fallout show that's coming out?
Mm-hmm.
I keep seeing stuff, and I'm just like...
Whoa. Lies of P has a demo out right now.
Lies
That's
of
the
what?
fucking Lies of P.
P?
That's P, pushing P. That is the fucking Pinocchio Souls-like game where you're playing as Pinocchio. That you were like, the combat actually looks pretty fucking good. And yeah, there's a demo out right now.
Stop playing.
I'll have to fucking check that out.
Yeah.
Give it a poke. Give it a Pinocchio,
I'll give it a poke.
A Pinoc. A Pinoc. Pinocchio. Netflix gave us a trailer for The Witcher Season 3.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, which is his final season as The Witcher.
Boo,
Henry Cavill. Yeah, fuck Netflix, right in the head.
Yeah.
That they, it to me it was like, oh yeah, this looks like a pretty promising fantasy show, I guess. But I could tell that if you really like The Witcher, the show so far, like Morgan was like, yeah, that looks pretty fucking gas. But it does make me go, I wish Henry Cavill did more things. He's a very good action star.
He is.
And he's a very gifted actor in general.
I think he is, yeah. He plays a good Superman. I mean, obviously that's the biggest thing I know him from. But
Yeah. I think his Superman isn't that good, but not his fault.
Yeah, no.
He does a good job with what he's got. Fucking another one that I was like, yo, Chris and I. Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2 is fully co-op. It has a full co-op campaign.
Excuse me.
Where you're playing as fucking Space Hawks, the Space Marines, facing off against Gene Stealers. Do you know what those are? They kind of look like xenomorphs to an extent.
Yes, I do. They're like necromancer stuff.
Yeah, and just hordes of them.
I played Warhammer 40K with a couple buddies. Like, I have model figures and everything like that.
And it looked incredible. Fucking just burning through swaths of them with your fucking chainsword. Oh, my God. And just, I was picturing you and I just
tearing it up,
mowing down Gene Stealers. And I was like, my God. I used to play.
Why are they stealing jeans?
You know, because they want you to have no pants on.
That's right. Porky Pig in it.
Yeah, Porky Pig in a drafty dome.
Yeah, it was definitely off the books.
But it was super off the books. Fucking, my dad and I used to play Space Hulk, which is a tabletop game where you randomize the map, and you're fighting gene stealers, and you're playing the Space Marines, and you're moving through the remnants of ships and whatever, and there's little blips, little chits that are blips on the map.
Little what?
Chits that are blips on your like motion sensor, right? And you flip them over, and it tells you like 1 through 5 how many gene stealers that blip represents. Yep. So you like come around a corner, and it's like, oh fuck, there's 5 of them right there. And he and I used to have a really good time with that. We painted a bunch of gene stealers and Space Marines and stuff. And yeah, my dad and I used to be way into that shit, like a bunch of fucking nerds. But so I'm excited to play Space Marine 2.
Chits, blips, and fucking hips, you know?
Yeah, man. Nick Cage is in Dead by Daylight as a playable character.
Yeah.
And it's funny because he was at Summer Game Fest, like came out on stage, and it was kind of like, whoa, man, like you guys are fucking intense, you know? Why is he in it?
Cage in it?
So 2 things. First thing, I mean, he's been in quite a few like horror things. And he himself is a huge horror fan. He was talking about that and how he loves the idea that it was sold to him as, apparently there's a Japanese horror movie that he loves, and there's a ghost in it, and that ghost is one of the characters in Dead by Daylight. And so that right off, he was like, well, no, wait a minute. These people respect horror. That's something that I can get behind. And apparently he said someone very close to him and his family is a Dead by Daylight fan, and kind of was like, dude, you got to do it. And so he was like, I'll check it out, you know. And he was sold. He said they sold it to him as a museum of horror. And he was like, I'm into that because you got Jason in there. Is Freddy Krueger in there yet?
No.
I didn't think so.
You got, like, as far as, like, people
Ghostface is in there.
Ghostface, the Ring, Saw, the girl with the pig mask on. I can't remember her name.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason. Then there you got Pinhead. Or Pyramid Head, excuse me. And then you have, what's the guy? He's got the cube and he's got all the needles.
Yeah, that's Pinhead.
Pinhead. Okay, no, I was right.
From Hellraiser.
I don't know. I haven't played it in a hot minute. Those are like the last ones.
But apparently it was enough to sell them. And it was kind of funny because I could tell that like I believed him. It didn't feel like he was there to sell something. You know what I mean? But it did feel like he was out of his element. Yeah. You know what I mean? Where he's like, he's not into gaming as far as like this is all new to him. But he was like talking about how big the crowd was, and he was really excited that these people were all excited for him to be there and all that. And Jeff Keighley was kind of like, you know, make some noise if you want to see more Nick Cage in video games, you know. And everybody's like, wah! You know, and so Nick Cage is like, yeah, they start beating each other up in the audience.
Just turns into a mosh pit.
It's just a mob, and it's like, all right, we got to get the cops in here. But yeah, so I think that was kind of fun that he was it's a fucking fish out of water for Nick Cage, and he really will do anything. There's a fucking indie game coming out called Yes Your Grace, Snowfall. Apparently, Yes Your Grace is a game already, but it looks like it'd be right up my alley. It's kind of a pixel art, side-scrolling kingdom management. It looks like. What? No, what? Go ahead. It's about sex. I can tell from the way you reacted.
No, it's not.
What is it about?
I'll tell you after.
Okay. But so yeah, I'm a sucker for a good. I almost said I'm a good sucker, which is like, you know, I mean,
you better tell me to chill out about the sex, huh?
I'm a good sucker. You know?
I bet you are,
like,
huh?
Yeah, you look at
chuck a golf ball through a garden hose.
No, I am a sucker for a good time on an indie game.
Yeah.
And yeah, something like this looks right in my alley. And I did just get a Steam Deck.
Yeah, you did. That you did.
Yeah, so I might be. I also ordered a 1 terabyte micro SD card, so it solves the storage problem.
Yep.
And I was like, my God, I didn't know they make it's a fucking micro micro SD. They're like, yeah, we can put a fucking terabyte of storage on that.
Technology.
It's asinine.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's bizarre. There was a quick little teaser of, I just completely lost the name of the company.
Teaser, I barely know her.
But they are an indie developer or an indie publisher
Yeah.
who made Annapurna is the company.
I know them.
Do you by name?
No.
No. So they published Stray,
Oh, word.
but they've apparently got at the end of the month here. I don't know if it's Annapurna themselves or if they're like the big showcase of this indie games showcase.
Mm-hmm.
But they gave just a quick teaser of a bunch of things that are going to be at their show.
Mm-hmm.
And there was something about Stray mixed in there. And I was like, are we getting like DLC or like a sequel?
I mean, they could pick up where they left off.
Because it ends at a spot of like,
it's implied that,
everything's fine,
the kitty makes it back.
But I would like to know what happens next.
Yeah, what happens to the city?
Yeah, because the city just gets opened to the world
Liberated,
again.
yeah.
That was a really good game.
Yeah, it was a beautiful game.
Yeah.
Such a pretty game.
Yes.
I could see myself playing it again.
Yeah, I could too. And there was like and also at the end of this like showcase from Annapurna,
mm-hmm.
and they just showed like a dude's face up close on like the left side with just his eye and just a blue hue and some light coming off of his eye, and that was it. And so I don't know like if there's a niche sub of people who are like,
is it Undertale?
No, I don't believe so. No, it was pretty realistic graphically.
Okay.
Yeah, I know Undertale, but I was like, it felt odd to me that they were kind of like making it seem like that was a reveal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And for me, it wasn't, and the audience wasn't like, what? You know what I mean? So I'm not sure what that was, but it did intrigue me enough that I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see what all they've got coming out. Because again, I love indie games because I think they take a bit more risk because they're not a $200 million video game. And so I'm kind of excited for that. And they've made some really good games, Annapurna have. I think I want to scroll through here and make sure I didn't miss any that I'm like, yo, wait, I got to talk about that. Yeah, I know that was pretty much the end of it. But a lot of good stuff. But like I said, there was a lot of stuff that I thought maybe we'd get something that we just didn't.
If they do put Nick Cage in Dead by Daylight,
no, there's no if. He is.
I hope that there's just the bees.
No. But it was funny to hear him. He was talking because he said they asked him like, "What's something you learned?" or something to that effect. And he's like, "I always try and learn something on whatever job I do." And he said, "I learned how dynamic and how thought out voice acting for a video game character has to be." He said because every like move or jump or turn or he said if my character goes from running to stopping, I have to voice act the sound that he makes of the and you're getting his breath in and like the and he's like, I did hours of just noises, and he's like, so there's a lot of effort that goes into making sure that those sounds all make sense where they're placed, and they do a lot of thought in that. And he was like, and that's I always trying to learn something, and you're like, all right, Nick, man. All right, man, yeah, good for you.
I mean, he's an older actor,
and he considers himself a thespian. He really enjoys acting and theater in general.
Well, what I like is I feel like a lot of like the older actors who are good actors, but kind of just like for whatever reason fell off.
Yeah,
are all starting to make
some comebacks in one way or another. Speaking of actors who are like thespian stage actors, right? Did you ever watch Fleabag?
Mm-mm.
I didn't think so. So for people that did or have a passing interest in it, I just completely lost the actor's name. He plays the hot priest in season 2. Is I'm pretty sure how he's what do you call that? The credit. I'm pretty sure that's how he's credited, is either just the priest or hot priest. But he has a stage show that he did of either Hamlet or Macbeth. I can't remember which one. Whichever one has the to be or not to be. I think that's Macbeth. Yeah. And he does a very, very good, like it felt like, my God, I understand Shakespeare, spoken Shakespeare, because he said it not in the rhythm of like a sonnet or anything like that, but just as if it was spoken thought. Yeah. And it was a very like powerful speech, and I was into it, and I was like, my God, I'm actually like following what I'm supposed to be gathering emotionally from this scene.
I understand.
Yeah. And I thought, man, I'd really like to see something like that. People do Shakespeare as it was meant to be done on stage versus as it's read. Mm-hmm. Because like I said, when you read it, it is a poem, it is a sonnet, it is got a rhythm to it, but it probably wasn't played that way because that's not how people speak rhythmically. Right. And so that's my recommendation for the week. Right, is just find that. I don't know the actor's name, and I'm not positive which play it was, but if you look up Fleabag, Hot Priest, Shakespeare, ? Hamlet, or Macbeth. To be or not to be. You could just put to be or not to be and you'll find it.
Yeah.
But no, he does a very good job of it. Chris, what? Did you have anything more about news?
No.
All right, what you been thinking about?
Welcome back to Chris's Cryptid Corner. I'm your host, Chris. So I actually wanted to touch up basically on everything that I was, taking a look around as far as like UFOs, especially like with the whistleblower going on.
Is this one that's supposed to give me goosebumps?
No.
Did you change your mind on that?
Yeah, I still have it, but I'm going to save it for probably next week.
Yeah.
Just because with this one, I mean, it's just relevant. It's still new, it's still going on.
I'm going to get cozy and lean back in my seat. I got the microphone crackling here.
So, this is talking about the lawmakers reacting to the whistleblower UFO claims that the Pentagon has denied. So, I'm just going to read. I have an article here for you that just gives an excellent
who's the article from?
Rundown. It's from newsnation.com.
Okay. Who wrote it?
Brian Entin.
All right.
E-N-T-I-N.
Make sure we credit him.
Yeah.
What's the name of the article or the headline on it?
Lawmakers react to
Okay.
whistleblower UFO claims that the Pentagon denies.
Perfect. Okay.
The House Oversight Committee is planning a hearing to discuss military whistleblower allegations that the U.S. government has recovered and secretly kept extraterrestrial has secretly kept an extraterrestrial aircraft. David Grush, an Air Force veteran and former member of the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, spoke exclusively to the News Nation about his time with Congress's Unidentified Aerial Phenomena, UAP.
Yep.
YOP. WAP.
UAP. No.
No, but the UAP task force. In an interview with the News Nation investigative journalist Ross Coulthart.
Okay. Cold Shart?
Cold Shart. A cold shart.
That's tough to do.
Yeah.
So typically, if you're sharting, it's hot.
If it's cold,
you gotta check the fucking dock, dude.
Grush said that the task force was recovered a non-human aircraft for decades. They've done that.
Okay.
And in quotes, he said, "These are retrieving non-human origin technical vehicles. They, call it spacecraft, if you will. It's just not human and exotic origin vehicles that have either landed or crashed. Though no information was corroborated, Grush's claims lawmakers are interested in looking into them." In quotations, "This is not a question I've had on my bingo card the last week. It's not my sweet spot," said Representative Pete Agler. Regarding investigations into the allegations, although I am a defense appropriator, I am a part of a classified briefing. This is nothing that has come up. I didn't read that article that you're mentioning. I saw it. I saw the report. It sounds fascinating, but if there's anything there, we've got to have an investigation. Just like we would investigate a foreign country that has a balloon over our sky, says U.S. Representative Jimmy Gomez. While Grush is a high-ranking U.S. intelligence officer, a letter that he provided from the Department of Defense indicates his claims based on the information was given is first-hand knowledge. In response to his recent claims, the DoD spokesperson Sue Go released a statement saying, "To date, AARO, All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, has not discovered any verifiable information to substance claims that any programs regarding the possession or reverse engineering of any extraterrestrial materials have existed in the past or exist currently. AARO is committed to following the data in its investigation of wherever it leads." And that's all there.
Yep.
But then also, NASA...
Is this the guy that's selling a book?
No. I don't think he's selling a book.
Because I know that one of the main whistleblowers has a book that he's also selling.
Is it?
And I remember that was one that everybody was like, ooh, that always makes you a little bit more skeptical when it's like, yeah, okay,
You're trying to get something
you
out of
stand
it.
to make money off of it,
Yeah. But I also know that NASA came out and they got together with the U.S. military, and because there has been a bunch of documents that have been released of these are unidentified flying objects.
Right.
NASA's going to be starting to dip a hand in and helping discover what that is, if it is something that's, out in space, or if it's something they're looking at like this just looks like a plane of
Right.
sorts
Of unknown origin, where we're not
Right.
sure, is this Russian, is this
Right.
Chinese, whose is this, right?
But NASA straight up came out and said, we're going to be completely transparent.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to let the public know what we find before we tell
Yeah.
the military. Of, like,
Yeah.
if this is, like, oh, this is
Yeah.
not earthly.
Yeah, this seems not of Earth.
You guys know it first.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo. And then also, they're sending that girl. I don't remember her name, I'm sure.
That girl.
I can Google it. It's a... she is. She's no older than I am.
Uh-huh.
And she's going out to space for 15 years, just into deep space.
Jesus.
And they're going to be doing...
For NASA?
mhm.
For 15 years?
For 15 years, because she was talking about it, because she's got a TikTok,
Hold this up.
and that's what I'm doing. Alyssa Carson, born March 10th, 2001, is an American space enthusiast and undergraduate student who has attended numerous space camps and has visited NASA, every NASA visitor center. She's been profiled by a variety of news outlets, public interest publications, and interview shows for an unofficial astronaut in training. And so what she kind of came on to talk about was that they're going to be having her do a bunch of different tests out in deep space, like just seeing the effects of each thing. And everyone's like, well, because everyone thought that she was being sent to like Mars or the moon.
Uh-huh.
And she was like, nah, like I'm just being sent out into space, and then it's just going to be a large orbit, essentially.
Yeah, so you gotta be careful, because deep space is...
Well, not deep space. I don't
She's
think...
going out into space.
Yeah. Yeah, she's going out into
She's
space.
gonna be in orbit around Earth.
I don't know if it is, though.
You said...
Well, because, like, I don't know. Like, the way she made it sound on TikTok was like she's kind of going out in deep space. She said, and I quote, deep space. So, whether it is an orbit or if I'm mistaken and she's not coming back, because the way she also made it sound is there's a chance she's just not coming back.
Well, yeah, anytime you go into space, there's a chance you're not coming back.
Mm-hmm. But so, I think that's pretty wild. And then, which just makes me think, what if it's a case of, yeah, we're sending you to space, and we're going to say it's for all this, but in reality, we found a bunch of alien tech here, and we're going to shoot you out and see what you can find.
I think they're just picking this girl.
I mean, I'm sure they've gone through, like, a bunch of tests, and, like, an astronaut, like...
Yeah, I don't think that's it.
No?
No. I think if they're gonna get
Well,
this...
I'm not saying they're sending her tomorrow. I'm saying she's going through testing to
no,
be
I
an
know,
astronaut.
but you're like, all right, they found this 18-year-old girl with a TikTok following, and they went, we need to do with all this
No,
high-tech space stuff.
No, she's not just a TikTok following. She has a TikTok because she is now.
Right, but
You're making it sound like it's just a TikTok following that they're like.
okay. Either way, I don't think they're grabbing an 18-year-old and going, we reverse engineered all this alien tech.
No, I'm
Let's
not
give it
saying
to
that
you and
either.
send you out.
No, I'm not
Yes,
saying
you are.
that
You
either.
said I'm wondering if.
I'm saying they're doing that on the low.
right.
They're
and I don't
they're
think
sending her out there and being like, yeah, do all this stuff, right? And then on the low, they're kind of like, let's see if anything's out there. I don't think that sounds far-fetched.
Well, no. So, on its basis, no. But I think you've got a level of like weird conspiratorial mistrust about it, as opposed to NASA's always worried about what's out there. So it's not like, what if they're looking out at space and going, what's in space? Yeah, that's their deal.
All right. Well, I'm
that's
just
their
saying.
whole shtick.
I'm just saying. I don't know. Like, that's something I'm going to be paying close attention to.
Yeah.
Is that whole thing. But I do think it is a huge leap for humanity. That, I mean, I don't know if there's been anybody else who's just been launched into space, like for 15 years straight.
Yeah. I want to find a source on the 15 years, because that'd be the longest that we've ever sent somebody, and we worry about the health of people that we send for like 6 months. Yeah.
Because their body just started.
Yeah, so I want sources on that, because that seems unethical.
I'll have to get back with you.
Yeah.
I'll follow back up.
I'd be surprised if NASA was like, yeah, fuck it, we're just taking this 18-year-old and killing her. You know what I mean? I feel like they would incrementally maybe work her up to 15 years, but I don't know that they would just start with it
I don't know.
from an ethical standpoint.
What if she came up and was like, I want to die. I'm ready. And they're like, all right, and they're like light bulb.
I just like how many. Yeah. Well, baby girl, we got
An opportunity.
just the job. Yeah, if you want to die, well, you got to hold off.
Yeah,
and
15
then after
years.
like, yeah, and then after like 2 months, she's like,
Turn.
kind of
Soon as
over
you-
it.
yeah.
I feel better now. Actually, I don't really want to die.
Oops.
There ain't no return trip, huh? You weren't. We sent you out there.
Mm-hmm.
I like how many what ifs you're pulling up to go. No. But what if?
What if?
I mean, we can what if all day.
Exactly.
I don't know, man. I appreciate how skeptical you are. I just
Someone's got to be.
so I don't know that you're skeptical. You're suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be
No.
suspicious.
You're not acting suspicious. You are suspicious of everything,
Correct.
which is not the same as skeptical. Skeptical is I have knowledge that makes me go maybe, maybe not, as opposed to you go, I just have an inherent mistrust of everything and I don't think too much into what I'm suspicious of. I just jump on it.
I know the mailman's planning to break in. I
You're
know.
just gonna say I know the mailman. Like that meant something.
I know
Like that
the
was
mailman.
I know the mailman. I'm like, all right, man.
Listen,
Good,
the
good.
UPS driver.
It's a small town. I
Yeah,
don't
the UPS driver that comes into work, he tells me things.
Yeah.
He tells me things he sees.
You telling me he's not one of those 3-letter agencies? It's right there on the truck.
Mm-hmm.
UPS, CIA, FBI. Come on, USA. Think about it.
Come on.
Come on, think about it. NASA, 4 letters long, but there's only 3 letters in the word.
United Penis Service. UPS. Where you been?
United People in Space. Fuck.
UPS.
My God.
We're on it.
Jeffrey Bezos, you son of a bitch. He's
Why is he the
Amazon.
owner?
Yeah. What the fuck are we talking about?
I don't know. I think aliens are real. I think.
I do
think,
too. I just don't think we've been visited.
I'm not saying we've been visited. If aliens,
Statistically speaking, we might never meet them.
yeah, if aliens are already space traveling, what the fuck do they need us for?
Right. Well, yeah, exactly. And again, I think we've brought it up before. I think it was Stephen Hawking.
Yeah,
That was like,
as if they're anything like us, then we
Yeah.
would be nervous. But honestly, if they're way more advanced than us, I don't think they're like us. Because I think we
Sure.
are our own fault when it comes to
Yeah.
that, how far
yeah,
advanced we are.
yeah, and I don't know if we talked about it on here or not. We might have talked about it on a couple of creeps. The idea of the great filter, and that it kind of solves that conundrum of, all right, well, because the physicists and astrophysicists and all them, statisticians and all that, we're sitting at lunch at like fucking MIT or whatever, and we're like, all right, what are the odds, right, that life just randomly forms in the universe? And they're like, well, we could do that math, and then they mathed it out and got a number that was like, there should be a lot of intelligent life, statistically speaking. So where are they, right? And then the theory they proposed was the great filter, which was that every intelligent species enters an era in its existence where it possesses the ability to destroy itself. And most of them probably fail, right?
Mhm.
And so then that, if you can break through that filter, you're now the spacefaring, you're the ET, right? You're the extraterrestrial that can go and visit the other worlds eventually.
We're not through it.
But yeah, we're still in the filter. And, we might always be in the filter. I mean, we're basically, ever since Oppenheimer, bringing it back around, ever since that first split the atom, we started a fucking experiment. And we're still running that experiment, of like, okay, we used it once and twice.
Do you think?
Now how long until we use it again?
Let me throw a crazy conspiracy at you.
Okay.
Do you think with World War III on the
Okay.
brink, if we fall into war and it
Uh-huh.
does come into nuclear,
Exchange.
but I mean maybe just like one bomb drops, right? Let's say it's just the U.S. Russia falls.
Like the U.S. fires the bomb?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just an
Yeah,
example,
just in
scenario.
this- Yeah.
Do you think at that point, like the world would come together? And like, do you
No.
think that's something where we can like, all right, we gotta?
No.
We gotta
The
do
cynic in
something.
me says no. It didn't work in the 50s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think over 50 years we've gotten any better.
We'd probably
Worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any chance that we'll get past the Great Filter? Or do you think we're just too far gone as a society?
No,
as a
I don't,
species?
I don't want to say we're too far gone. I always have a little bit of optimism, but I think the filter would be longer than our lifetime.
That's unfortunate.
I think we'll always live under the threat of nuclear annihilation.
Yeah.
You know, but so Dan Carlin, I've talked about him before. He does the Hardcore History podcast, and he did an episode called Destroyer of Worlds, and it's all about just the creation and the effects of nuclear, explosive devices, bombs, whatever they be. And he leads it all the way up to the Cuban Missile Crisis. That's the closest we've come to full-on nuclear war, right? Because the only time the bombs have been used, we were the only ones that had them, right? Now, ever since everybody else got them, it's been real quiet, because there is that threat. And he talked about this idea of people being hyper-aware of having, like, a dagger hanging over their head, People born in the 30s saw the effects of the bomb in the 40s, grew up, lived in the 50s where what if the Russians bomb us, And it was a constant fear. And in the 80s, they're having bomb drills, things like that. At what point do you have a generation, and I think we're it, that's born with the knife over its head and just, it's like wearing glasses on your face. Eventually, you don't see the glasses anymore. The knife's always been there, so I don't acknowledge it. We don't have a daily conscious thought of, we could be bombed at any minute, until something like what's going on, like Ukraine and things like that, and just in the world right now. But, in the 80s, that was just constantly a thing of, like, we could be bombed at any moment.
Ain't nothing but a thing but a chicken wing.
So, whether that's a result of us having gotten better, that we don't have that constant fear hanging over our head, or like Dan Carlin says, maybe it's just because that's always been there, so it's not notable, right? I don't know, but, yeah.
Well, that's all I had for my cryptid.
It's kind of glum, isn't it? But, we want to thank you guys so much for your attention and support.
Well, life's just not worth it
If you
anymore.
like this episode, be sure to give it a great review, 5 stars on iTunes and all that good stuff. Tell your friends about us. Share us on social media. Make sure that you're liking, following, subscribing on your audio streaming service of choice. You can get notified when we post episodes. We try and post every Wednesday by 8 a.m. Chris, if people wanted to reach out to us, give us their thoughts on nuclear war, their fears about either existence of others or the lack thereof.
Oh.
They fear themselves. Where do people stand? Am I just a big fucking wet blanket? Or,
I think you are.
All right. I bet you do. I bet you do.
I think you doubt the possibility.
I think the possibility is far less likely. You know what I mean? Where, it's that idea of Occam's razor where the most likely thing is typically the truth, and the more you have to what if it and jump through hoops to make it true, the less likely it becomes,
Know what you think?
No, it's been proven over and over, but yeah. Like, is that what you think?
No,
Yes. Yes, it is.
Couldn't be
Same thing with, like, national, how high does this thing go? Not to get political, but, like stealing an entire election, things like that, right? Where there's a good joke of, the supporter of a certain person goes to heaven and is like, God, I have one question for you. Who won the 2020 election? And he says, Joe Biden won. And he's like, this goes higher than I thought. There are some people who will just always, you could show them anything and they'll still be skeptical or suspicious, right?
Well, if you ever wanted to reach out to us, you can always check out our socials. Our Facebook, Instagram is Simply One Podcast. You can always check out our YouTube as well, which is a Simply One Podcast. I haven't posted a whole lot on there, though.
Yeah, you should probably just stop saying that one.
We'll get there
the more
eventually.
episodes we do, the more of that happening gets less likely.
We'll get there.
Because I think the last video on there is like episode 21, and we're on episode
21.
67, and so I don't see it happening.
It's going to happen one day, and it'll be glorious.
That'll be a workhorse. You're
Yeah.
just like, oh, fuck.
Just uploading all of them.
You got to edit them into videos first,
Oh, yeah. Well,
or we could
you
just
can always take a
start
look at
here
yeah.
and just have a black hole
Well,
a year long.
it's not like it's not on everything else.
All right, exactly.
You can always take a look at our Twitter, where our Twitter handle is whelmed_simply, or you can always send us your biggest
Email.
fears about the atom bomb dropping at our email, which is simplyoneMailbag@gmail.com. Or if you
Yes.
have any other news about the whistleblower,
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
do send it, or as well as whatever her name is, Gracie Cabbage Butt or whatever.
Cabbage Butt. What was it? Allison Bryson or some shit? Allison, what's this?
Carson,
What's this
something like that.
pulled up here.
Britney Spears? No.
No. Leave Britney alone. The fuck is her name here? Come on now. Don't you fuck me on this. Alyssa Carson. You were right about Carson.
I know. I know.
The way you kept saying names made me think that you were just throwing
No, I know
names
the
out.
last name was Carson. I just can't think of the first name.
I think I said Alyssa.
Did you? Oh.
Yeah, so I was like, fuck, we just don't know the name here.
Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah.
She would go to space. That'd be pretty dope.
Yeah. I say we just send all the celebrities and leave the poor people on.
Just send the Kardashians to space.
All
See
of
how.
them.
And their diamond.
All 23 of them.
Their diamond encrusted spaceship.
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot of Kardashians.
Yeah.
They're like royalty.
And they are quickly just becoming each other.
Multiplying.
It's like assimilation. They just all are eventually, through plastic surgery, going to become the same.
They're like a hive mind.
Yeah, they're like the Fates from God of War. They just speak in trios, you know?
Chris and Caitlyn are the queens.
Answer us this riddle 3, you know? It's like, oh my God, it's just Chloe, Kim, and...
What's
the other one? Chloe, Kim, and...
Chloe, Kim...
And Courtney.
Courtney Kardashian.
Yeah. It's those 3 telling people their fates.
It's just, what is it from Naughty Python?
Did you say Naughty Python? I got your Naughty Python right here.
Naughty Pine. It's a bar here in Ohio. But Monty Python and the Holy Grail. You must answer these 3 riddles. What is your favorite color? And there's like blue.
Blue?
What?
What?
I don't know the rest.
Yeah.
The third one they always just get wrong.
Wrong.
Wrong. Launches their ass up. But
Yeah, I think that was. Did you say what the email was?
yeah, simply1mailbag@gmail.com.
All right, man. Fucking next week, The Flash and Extraction 2. Are we going to try and go for a doubleheader? Because the week after that,
We got Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Are we going to do 2 doubleheaders in a row?
I don't think we should do doubleheader podcasts.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think we should talk about both of them in one, because Barbie, we're going to be there for a while. Oppenheimer, we're going to be there for a while. And then Extraction 2, we're both really excited for, so we're going to be there for a while.
Yeah.
Flash, we're going to be there for a while. It's just unraveling a lot, and something there's been a lot of pent-up hype and energy for. So
Yeah.
I feel like
I want to talk about Extraction, though.
And we will. I'm just saying we shouldn't talk about Extraction
At the same time as Flash.
Correct. I think they should each have their own episode.
Yeah.
Just because that's going to be a lot of information. And what are we pushing now? Maybe like an hour? An hour? Hour and a half?
Hour and a half.
Yeah.
We just fucking...
And this is just news.
Can't. We just can't.
We can't.
We have an allergic reaction to coming in under an hour. Have we ever?
No.
Never once. I don't think so.
Not once. We've never been under an hour.
And it's been our goal multiple times.
Doctors say I'm the illest.
As we just keep filling for time. Anyways, next week, The Flash.
Suffering from realness.
And then the week after that, Barbie Oppenheimer doubleheader. I think we do have to do the Barbie Oppenheimer doubleheader. There's just no, sorry about it. It's the meme.
That's going to be a long ass episode.
They're all long ass episodes.
That's going to be like a 4-hour episode.
No, it won't. It won't. It won't. I'll keep us moving. That's the end of the episode, Chris. So we'll be bye.
Bye.